we're really interested in you. We're really interested about your life. We are 100% unconditional love. So therefore there is no judgment here. Anything is open for conversation. And we're sure that you have some things on your heart and mind that you would like to talk about.
Well, I came here today to kind of figure out a few things that have been weighing on my mind for the past few weeks. In particular, about a past lover. So I'm wondering what you can pick up from that, and also why am I so attached to that relationship in particular? Why haven't I been able to forget about it and move on?
That's a very good question. And we're really going to help unpack this for you and lighten the load a bit. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Yeah. So this past relationship that you had, was it a marriage or just was it a fairly intense friendship?
It was like a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, or a romance.
And how long did that go for?
It's fairly short, about 9 months.
Okay, so it must have been a fairly intense 9 months by the sounds of it.
Yes.
Yeah. So you really felt like a soul-spirit connection there?
Yes, I do.
Lots of love?
Yes.
Yeah. Was it served equally?
I don't think so. Now, looking in hindsight.
So more one-sided?
Yes.
Who had more power in that relationship?
My ex.
Okay. So that power that your ex had in that relationship, was that power that you think you allowed him to have, or was it just something that you generally think is just the way he is?
I think at the time, because I was so young, I didn't know how to assert myself. So I think it just the power kind of was focused on him.
Yeah. So much older than you?
Yes.
So how old were you in this relationship?
I met him when I was 18.
Okay.
And he was 23, turning 24.
Okay, so not a huge difference there.
Yeah.
But definitely someone who potentially has a bit more life experience than you did.
Yes.
But the good news is that women generally are a little bit more mature than the men. Because men get a little bit caught up in their ego and pride, and they get their egos get inflated. So they gallop around the place and think they're something more than what they are. And they feel most of their beginning of their lives a little bit like that. It's a little bit of a frailty with that human side of their existence. But women just generally just get the idea of nurturing and friendship and relationship a little bit earlier than the men, yeah? So when this relationship went ahead, you felt good in it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and how long ago was this? When did it finish?
Oh, this was 4 years ago.
Oh, well, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So you still have a bit to do with this person?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? So is it sort of a casual arrangement?
No, he's married.
So he's moved on and got married?
Yes.
Right, but you've got this connection with him that you would still like to pursue?
I think that comes from a place of hurt, and I just feel like it was unfinished business.
Yeah, when that break-off happened, he took the power. It's a little bit like that group that you had on your planet called ABBA. And one of their songs is, "The Winner Takes It All."
All right.
Yeah, you get that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So that's a very interesting song. If you get a chance, do listen to that, because it will release or explain to you some of his situation, and that's really the reality of it. But the only power that he took away was what you gave him.
Correct.
So you would probably be more aware of that next time around, not to give so much away, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and that's the consequences of living in a physical plane, is that you get all this contrast, and that's how you grow. You didn't come here to be butchered and bullied around by a world system and be convinced that you can't live life on your terms. You came here to live life on your terms. The only thing about it is that when a lot of things like this take place, you ended up sitting there with this thing in the bad pile, with you wondering how and why that happened to you.
Yeah, definitely.
The only problem with that is you never get free of it, because there is no answer to be given. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah, so what can you do to move powerfully forward from this, do you think? Where's it going to start?
I think, well, I keep telling myself to forgive and forget.
Is there much to forgive and forget?
Really no.
How about you? How much is to forgive and forget for you? Regardless, take him out of the picture. What about you in this?
I think I have to forgive myself, because I also kind of didn't know at the time, and I kind of added to, him leaving in the end.
So you sort of blame yourself a bit.
Oh, all the time.
You think if it wasn't for you, you'd still be...
Correct.
And you might be the one wearing a ring, not this other lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the real key to all this that's going to be really wonderful for you to hear, is that you are a very powerful creator, and you get to choose your life for yourself depending on the thoughts that you choose. The only thing about that is that thoughts that you're choosing are not serving you right now. The thoughts that you're choosing are not allowing you to move on. You're hung up on something that is so bent out of shape that it's not even worth considering anymore. This person, do you think they waste any moment of time thinking about you?
No.
They've moved on well and truly, haven't they?
Yeah.
So what should you do?
Do the same.
Yeah, so you just got to find your power to do that. You've got to reconfigure your mind. And this is the thing about coming to this planetary system, which is part of many, is that you get convinced more than ever before that the world system's way of doing things is exactly how it's all meant to work. The only problem is that this world system is bent right out of shape. You've been trained and conditioned by a bent out of shape world system ever since you started walking on this earth. So you've got a lot of detraining to do, because your non-physical self, your invisible self, the stuff that makes you who you are, in flesh, different than the one that you put the shoes on in the morning, that's the most powerful version of you that will ever be. Do you understand that?
Right.
Do you think that's real?
I think so, yeah.
So why would you think that's real?
Because I've seen it before.
Explain.
I've been listening to a lot of podcasts with Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's taught me that, if you recondition your mind, and certain thoughts that you think create your own reality, and I think that I'm a lot more powerful than I give myself credit for.
So you've just got to believe that, right?
Yes.
What's faith to you?
Faith. Just a belief in a God?
Well, let's take it one step further than that. There's two parts to faith. Part of it is believing and trusting in the process of what you're creating. And the second part of that is being certain of what you do not see. Because we're talking from a place of no resistance. We're talking from a place of non-physical. That's why there's no resistance. You on your planetary system have got loads of resistance around you, haven't you? So your goal is to get to that place of no resistance whilst you're walking upon a resistive setting. This relationship, this is key to a releasing part of your life. How about we just pick up that bad pile bin upside down, and we move everything that's from that bad pile and we put it in the good pile. Now that it's in the good pile, guess what you aren't anymore? A victim. You are now a student of your own life, and you're willing to learn whatever it takes to prosper and grow and become more powerful. So nothing has happened awfully to you that does not serve you. It's all in the good pile. There's no getting this wrong. Don't take life too seriously like you are. Allow it to progress beautifully like it should be. Life can either be a great adventure or nothing at all. So you can really embrace your life because it's a wonderful adventure if you choose it to be. But right now it's not so much of a great adventure because you're really something that was in the bad pile. So how about we start releasing that by creating a different energy around it? And just by the Dr. Dispenza that you've been listening to, you're going to start retraining your mind about how you view everything, including that. So every time a thought comes in that makes you feel like crap, and you know the ones we're talking about, the ones that makes your heart sink down. Every time you come up with a thought that creates that downward sensation, you are losing energy. You're giving energy away. So to regain that energy, firstly you have to identify that thought is no longer serving you. So dump it, put it in the bin, and with that void you fill it. And this is where the creative prowess comes in, you see, because now you get a chance to create a new thought. Yeah? You see how powerful that is?
Very powerful.
Yeah. So there's lots more we could say to you. Wondering if maybe that's enough for now.
I have one more question.
Sure.
I have a lot of confusion surrounding my identity and
Your physical self.
yeah, my physical self. I'm still kind of trying to find out who I am, because I'm a mixed girl, and I only grew up with one, and without the other I kind of question, is that who I am? And I'm just wondering, like, how do it's really hard for me to, keep my head up high when I'm walking, because I just don't have a clear sense of who I am.
And your self-worth is low.
Oh, yeah.
And can you see how you've accepted so many world's versions of who and what you are without actually rating the thoughts that you need about yourself? You see how you have accepted a batshit crazy world's perspective of who and what you are?
Yes.
Rather than allowing yourself to be the powerful generator of yourself. And here's the key, that you are perfect just like you are. And who's to say you aren't except you? Depends who you want to listen to here. Do you want to listen to a bent out of shape world system, or do you want to start believing in the rewritten script that you're going to write for your life about who and what you really are? Because this journey is all about you. It's not about your father, your mother, your boyfriend, your exes, your job, anything else. This is all about your power. And you've been giving a lot of your power away, haven't you?
Yeah.
So how are you going to start regaining it?
I think I have to, give my attention to myself and just give back the energy to me and to myself.
100%. And you're going to need a big bin, because you're going to have to do a whole lot of dumping. Because you've got a lot of garbage in your mind that is clearly not serving you. And the hard work is, and we got something to say in regard to this, is that there's no quick fixes here. Okay? There's no quick fixes, and it's not meant to be a quick fix either. Because you came here for the delicious savouring and unfolding of the perfect contrast to lead you to a greater place for yourself. When you came to this earth, you chose this body. You ordered all of this because of your life, how far you got in that. See, you've come here because you were powerful before. You've just learned to forget that. You were so powerful before that you chose this condition and chose this life to come into. The very life that you're allowing yourself to be beaten up by. But you ordered it. And if you've ordered it prior, you must appreciate that you believe that you would find what it took to get through it.
Okay.
Yeah? Some better perspective of it?
Yeah, that's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. So you can really start believing that you are perfect, just the way you are. And choose the thoughts that support that version of yourself. Because at the moment, you're choosing thoughts that support the world's version of you, aren't you?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. And where's that getting you?
Not to where I want to be.
Correct. And you want to be high flying, you came here to fly high.
Yes.
You came here to appreciate the contrast, not be beaten up by it, but to appreciate the contrast and learn to grow so that you may spread your wings and fly regardless of it. Do you know what love is?
I have no idea.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. It gets really bent out of shape. Love can mean so many things. But listen to this version of it that we say, perfect love drives out all fear. And at the moment, you have a whole lot of fears about your life, don't you? So your journey is going to be one thought at a time, stacking on top of each other, dumping the old, and building up momentum as you begin to fly to feel that perfected version of it.
Okay.
And the closer you get to that, the more these words will ring true to you about love. And that the love that you find for yourself will drive out every fear that you've ever had.
Wow. That's...
Yeah. We think that's enough.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.